So wrapping up, got to do the factory tour. Everybody said the factory tour was the really one thing you had to do, and I enjoyed it. It was nice. Got to see the spin casting done. Got to see where the bit stuff was, although I didn't get any bits diving. Saw the paint area, the origin of that type of paint. Just kind of an interesting little tour. Got to see Thomas, their injection molding machine, where we got to put our hand into the box and get a bunch of bases, and it was making bases at the time when I saw it. So that's cool, and I guess it's something to go do if you get there. Then at the banquet, they announced Bones 3. I'm going to cut the video at this point and try to show some pictures and talk over it. It was originally going to be June 8th. They've already announced on the forums that they're going to kind of adjust that just due to the response they were getting, so they'd like to get more models put in. So that's kind of a good thing. And I'm going to cut it here and switch to those pictures. They announced Bones at the banquet and that there was a display cabinet out in the hall. These are the pictures that I took of that display cabinet. They did put a huge caveat that not all these figures will make it to Bones, possibly, and that there were some Bones not shown, or there's some figures that were not shown that would probably make it into Bones. So let me just quickly point out there's two little Cthulhu guys, a purple worm, a big beast, and some people were calling it a Shoggoth, or I don't know the mythos, and then the little Stonehenge. Here's the back side of that same shelf. You can see the creature in the back of that purple worm. Brian was talking that they came out with their purple worm, the original one in Bones 1. Wizards of the West Coast came out with a bigger purple worm, so they had to make an even bigger purple worm. So I called it Worm Warfare? Or Wormfare, I think is called. Ha ha ha, I so funny. This is a Stonehenge type thing. They didn't talk about this a lot. The big focus was on what was on the top shelf. But, some basic terrain. I have no idea if it's going to be separable, little pieces, come in a set, have a figure in the middle, whatnot. Close-up of the purple worm, and, I really liked him. He's kind of cool. It's a little tentacle monster. Really, he's not that little. I can see multiple mouths on him, and that's going to be an interesting one to put together, especially in Bones. That's going to be a lot of boiling and bending. This looks to be like a Cthulhu-like gargoyle. It really looks like it's a textured wing and sitting on a post somewhere. I didn't notice this one until after I gotten home with the pictures, so this is the best picture I've got of it, or else I'd look better at it. This one is a proper Cthulhu figure. It's not on a pillar. It does not look like a gargoyle, but I can tell you what it is. It's a Cthulhu figure. Second shelf of the display, and there's a lot to love in this one, and we'll go through each one bit by bit. Back view of the second shelf. Three more big giants. I'm not good at giant lore, so I can't tell you if these are frost giants, fire giants, mountain giants, whatnot. All I can tell you is two guy giants and a girl giant. Lots of people were, well, I shouldn't say lots of people. Some people were expressing concern on the forums that yet another girl giant not in a dynamic pose. I'm not getting into the politics of that one. In front of the giants were some ogres, I guess you could call them. I don't know if they're trolls. I'm not good on difference between those two. So troll, ogre, whichever one you want to call it. Looks like 3 new ones in different poses. Bit of science fiction love. There's 2 power-suited figures. One has a fully encapsulated mask, helmet. The other one's not. I don't know the significance between that. I don't know if these are both IMEF figures or not, or just something science fiction-y. Close-up view of the power suit that I really liked. There's so much potential here. Aliens, all kinds of different science fiction genres you could put this figure in. There's not really anything that screams, oh, this is from that universe, so I really like it. Apparently Stitch Golems, I found that on the Reaper website later, but I was calling these kind of like Oogie Boogie from Nightmare Before Christmas. But 1 large one and 2 small ones. Don't know if they're supposed to be minions or just smaller versions of itself, but kind of cool ones here. Another picture that I only saw the figure after I got home and really wish I'd taken a better picture of it. It looks like it's either a feathered dinosaur person figure or a bird god or something like that, but that would be really interesting to paint up in tropical colors, so I'm a little excited for this one now. Pretty sure this isn't another purple worm. I'm calling it the grub. It kind of looks like a little grubby caterpillar thing you dig out of the ground. So lots of eyes, lots of teeth, lots of little tentacles. There's a skull on its base for some reason. I'd have left the skull off, that way it could be different sizes, but oh well. Another cool little thing to paint. I feel bad because I don't remember the guy's last name. This is Tailspinner on the Reaper forums. Andy is his first name, I'm pretty sure in real life. He does mostly lots of cute animals. Not cute animals, I was going to say, but realistic looking animals. And he was talking that he got to do this, and they just kind of off on a whim. So it's a set of 4, or is it 5, torture devices. You've got a rack. I have no idea what the little X-shaped thing is, and you'll probably correct me. I got an Iron Maiden there, some stocks, and a basket of coals. And so, kind of cool. I guess that'd be the hot pokers. Turtle monster. Turtle. I'm not sure if this is just going to be a recast of their turtle dragon, but probably get one anyway. On to the 3rd shelf of the display cabinet. This one's kind of got a front and a back like the other one did. The animal shelf. There's an alligator over there, I think, or alligator, were-alligator, whatever you want to call it. I see a cobra-like thing. There's 2 bears, a wolf, or werewolf actually, and then there's a 2-headed wolf on the left-hand side, and then that bear warrior figure. I took a much closer up picture of this bear because I thought that was very interesting. My wife's a big panda thing, so I can turn this into a panda warrior, I think. Yeah, the fingers might be wrong and off, but I don't care. But cool little figure. I was glad to see this one. A graveyard golem. There's little bits of graveyard fence and tombstones all over it, and so that's a cool, creepy one to paint. This will be fun. A pumpkin cart, although a closer inspection looks like there's other things besides pumpkins in it, and 2 halflings. Now, they were saying it was a halfling on the forums. I didn't look too closely. I don't know if that's for sure or not. They may just be really short people, which would be a halfling. Anyway, I don't know why, but this one is exciting to me. I really like this one. Like I said, I can't tell you why I'm excited about a cart full of pumpkins. Yet another figure that I didn't really see until I got home, so there's a really bad picture of it. But I'm wondering if it's like a little tiny small dragon or something. I don't know. Now we're to the back side of that 3rd shelf. You can see the dragon thingy on the top right. Not going to talk a lot about this. The graveyard golem's in the middle. You can see the snake and the alligator better, and there's a were-boar on the bottom left. I'm not going to zoom in on those because the pictures just don't work very well. Trick-or-treaters. These are the little chibi figures they had from last Halloween as a limited edition. Well, it turns out it's probably a limited edition in metal. It looks like they're going to come out in bones with these, which is nice and all, but I really see the point of having bones, of being able to buy lots of cheap minis for a game. I guess these could go into Super Dungeon Explorer or some other game that's out there. I'm not really sure, but I only zoomed on these three because Dracula, Swamp Thing, and the werewolf. I figured that's a pretty good sample of what they're going to be. I heard of this one jokingly being referred to as Sophie's mom. No clue if the base is going to be integral, separate figure, separate base, purchased separately, purchased together. You're on your own guessing on this one. Another couple of mouselings. First, you've got the little ninja mouse. And I did look to the side, and that thing he's holding and throwing is, in fact, a throwing star. Okay, ninja mouse. Geisha mouseling. This one I was pretty excited about. I won't be able to do it justice, but those freehand artists that just really get into decorating like this, I challenged them on this one. This is going to be a fun one to try to do, and I'm really excited to see what people come up with it. I'd really like to see some really cool kimonos on it. Final shelf, top shelf, women's lingerie, sundries, and not Tiamat. This is a 5-headed dragon. This is an IKEA display, and it stands about 5 feet tall, and it has 4 compartments, so you're looking at a dragon that's probably at least a foot tall. And Julie Guthrie is the sculptor on this, and it is not complete. She did talk about it in one of her classes, although she didn't tell us what it was, but she'd been spending a lot of time on it. It's not finished yet. In the back picture on the shelf, you'll be able to see the dragon's foot in one of my pictures. And it's just a wire right now. The wings are just mesh, so she hasn't sculpted those yet. And this is taking time. And I can only imagine how much just the green stuff cost to make this. This is huge. So, cool thing, this is what everybody was excited about. This is what everybody was taking pictures of. I don't know if I want it. It's really big, but I don't have that much display space. I'll probably go ahead and get it, but it may sit in the box for years. But still, lots of people are very happy that the not Tiamat is coming. Little Joke and the paint lady at Reaper kind of fought Michael Proctor, I think his name was, to paint it, and he said he wasn't even going to try to get in her way. But where was I going with? Oh, they said that the name's Penelope, although Julie Guthrie is saying, at least I heard, that, oh no, this is a boy dragon. Okay, well, I thought Tiamat was supposed to be a goddess, but doesn't mean you can't name a boy dragon Tiamat, but then again, you can't name a boy dragon Penelope either then. So who knows? Someone has said the name's actually Steven. So go with that. Meet Steve, the 5-headed dragon. Next to the big nasty dragon, there's a bunch of basic figures. I guess these could be heroes. Not that big into it. So, this is probably make up the rest of the core set if they do it that way. But a bunch of basic figures. However, there's a Mastiff dog. And I apologize for the poor quality of the picture, but this is, you know, a quote-unquote big dog. That's kind of cool, and I'm looking forward more to the big dog than I am the basic figures. Here we see the back of the top shelf, and I lied. It's not the dragon's foot that's still on a wire, it's the dragon's tail. You can see it coming underneath the bark there and coming out of the tail. So, okay, dragon tail is not complete. Quick shot of the other basic figures that we're not pointing behind. I see probably a little halfling there, and now that I'm looking at it, there's some sort of monster in the middle with lots of mouths, head, and then the snake wing thing on the left-hand side, second figure from the left. I think there was like a South American god that was like that. I think it was in a Star Trek animated episode too. Anyway, another picture that, or figure that I just didn't look too deeply into, didn't care about. Everybody was oohing on over the big dragon. I'm sure I wasn't the only one to overlook that, but that's a cool figure and I'd like to paint it too. We conclude our tour with a quick close-up of the dragon, Stephen, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. Call it a big-ass dragon for all I care. But again, you can see the wire coming out, and the scales, and yeah, it's gonna be massive. So that's all the figure pictures I took of the potential Bones figures. Hope you enjoyed that. Final thing is save the date. ReaperCon 2016 will be April 28th, May 1st. It's going to be a horror theme, gothic, vampires. This is a little magnet that they've got put out. And am I going? That's not for sure. I enjoyed myself. It was nice. I would really like to get my wife to go. She does not paint. She does not game. She does a lot of craft stuff, and she's thinking she might go if there's a wholesale sales showcase type thing that she's heard is around. So she might go for that. But even then, you know, I went this year because it's science fiction, and that's my favorite. You know, who knows if I'll want to go next year. It's, you know, not an easy decision. It was a lot of money. You know, not, you know, horrible amount, but, you know, reading on the forums, it was about the same price for everybody. Price isn't really the thing. You know, I'm not a convention person, or else I would have gone in the last 10 years. So, but anyway, I had fun. It'll definitely be something I think about and possibly go. I'd really like to get my painting skills up a whole lot. I make the joke on here that this is a hack painter showing off his videos, and after looking at all the competition entries, yeah, definitely I'm a hack painter. I really need to step up my game. I am what I'm trying to say. I yell at my daughter sometimes, and she goes, "I know!" And my response back is, "You know, but you don't do." I know how to paint well, at least in theory. I just don't. And so that's kind of my bugaboo right now, is I've got to be able to do that type of painting. I'd at least like to try to think in my mind that I've got a chance at a silver. Looking at the entries that got gold and silver and bronze, it's like I'm a low bronze right now. You know, I'm very lucky that Wealth of Chaos even got to a bronze. So, that's my position, that's what I'm going to do, and that's what I'm sticking with for now. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the videos, and I'll see you next. I've got a lot of stuff to paint, so we'll see you around. Thanks for watching. See ya.